So is there a right amount of time to start dating after you lose your partner? Wow, this story just breaks my heart. Amanda Kloots lost her husband, actor Nick Cordero, to COVID last July. She just revealed that she's dating again, but she's getting a ton of flack for it. One Instagram user said, dating again? Wow, that was fast. And I actually read some of the other comments, and they were way more cruel than that. I can't imagine what Amanda must have went through. I mean, it was a lot of it in the beginning was public because she was asking for prayers, and a lot of it mirrored Eric's story in the beginning, and we're so lucky that our Eric is, you know, alive and thriving. I cannot imagine what this woman went through. And then now, a year later, so she met someone. Right. Good for her. But now she's being shamed. I honestly can't imagine what she has to go through right now.
It's super vile for her personally, but also remember that over 2 million people in this world lost their lives unexpectedly. Like
4 million.
4 million people unexpectedly, as in a matter of 2 weeks, some a matter of days. So she's not the only person who's representing this segment of the population who had no idea that this was coming, and all of a sudden she's left with a newborn and a husband who's not here anymore. So if a year from that date she announces that, hey, you know, I'm starting to reclaim this part of my life, then she needs support, not ridicule. And anyone who is going to ridicule her for that really needs to take a look inside themselves, because that's a very ugly, ugly spirit.
Yeah, listen, I don't want to put a number on it because there is no number. Like you just said, one, being a parent, shout out to every, I don't even know where shout out to you, whatever camera I'm on, because being a single parent is something we don't talk about enough. There's a 2-parent household that I live in, and it's still not enough help. There still isn't enough hands around. So shout out to anybody who's a single parent. Now, finding a partner this we're talking about now, a year and change later, if you're going to put a number on it, a year I think is a good number to put on it. Right. Not that you even need to, but how are you giving someone hate when you have a newborn at home? It's been a year since the love of your life has passed. You need to get.
Are you shocked? You're the one. I mean, we all talk about it, but you especially always bring up how vile Instagram can be.
And again, we talked about in the beginning of the show, it goes back to mental health. I think a lot of people are mentally unstable in this world. I try so hard to find positivity to start my day, to start my morning, to write down my goals, to make myself a better person. Why am I going to go to a vile place where mentally unstable people are going to write me things that have nothing to do with anything that's going on in their lives, that walk by a woman on camera and shout things, that write to The Rock because they didn't like his new movie and he needs to go kill himself? People, it's not a good place, and we really need to start having these conversations about what we're going to do with social media moving forward.
I think we're going to see that, but just getting back to this really quickly.
Yeah, sorry.
No,
I drifted.
That. You know, I mean, some people went after a widower, Jeff. So yeah, you were a little thrown off by that. You know, it makes me think about Patton Oswalt, the comedian who we've interviewed on this show. I'm a huge fan, and his now deceased wife had a great documentary still on HBO called "I'll Be Gone in the Dark" about her basically catching the Golden State Killer by herself. And
as a journalist.
Yes, as a journalist. She passed away unexpectedly, and he remarried, I think, within a year, around a year. And of course, just fans went after him. But like, who are we to talk to somebody about how they heal? Like, what is that? We don't have a timeline for that. We don't know how people are going to move forward. And I just think it's so interesting that almost no matter what time we pick, it's never good enough. And it's like people are waiting to attack a.
And not only that, and I'll go on to the next story. Sorry, I just want to leave it with this. Even though they may have found someone, you don't think that Amanda cries daily, missing her love, missing the father of her child? Are you kidding me? You don't think Patton Oswalt doesn't miss his deceased wife?
Yeah.
So just because someone moves on, it doesn't mean their life is like all, you know, butterflies and rainbows, and they forgot their previous partner. Are you kidding me? People lack empathy. People don't put themselves in other people's shoes. And yes,
just a quick button on this. If something happened to me, I would want my wife to move on as quickly as possible, to get a father figure in the house, for her to be happy and to her to have some help. So we've had those conversations, and I think we've talked about that earlier too. That might have been their conversation that they had. Like, I need to move on. I would want some help if something happened to my wife, God forbid. And so you don't know what's happening in people's homes.
You don't. And hopefully, like, be optimistic, like Jeff said. Just be positive. Be happy for people instead of always looking to, like, bring people down.